When a child falls physically ill, communities quickly mobilize resources and offer charity. Yet, when a toddler loses her housing overnight, that collective compassion largely vanishes. Unable to keep up with skyrocketing rent, a 3-year-old girl named Anna and her brother Oracio are forced out of their apartment. Everything they own goes into storage, leaving Anna with only a few small toys. Her new bed is a favorite blanket laid out behind the passenger seat of her parents' minivan. The human body operates on a set of physiological requirements for survival. In the minivan, Anna eats only microwaved food with virtually no fresh produce. She has no access to a shower to wash away bacteria, and the constant fear and discomfort rob her developing brain of restorative sleep. When temperatures drop to 30 degrees, her parents double up the children's clothing and bury them under thick blankets to preserve their core body heat. An eviction is a direct biological assault on a child's fundamental survival needs. The emergency safety net designed to catch these families simply lacks the capacity to hold them. Many shelters have closed entirely, while others accept a fraction of their normal volume due to strict social distancing rules. A single missed payment triggers a rapid, mechanical legal process. Magistrate judges process the paperwork and sign the orders with absolute finality. These local courts make no attempt to pause the proceedings to connect families with available emergency rental assistance programs that could keep them housed. The legal machinery prioritizes rapid case processing over the physical safety of vulnerable families. Prolonged exposure to freezing temperatures and a lack of basic nutrition eventually catch up with a 3-year-old's immune system, forcing the parents to take their sick child to the emergency room. The attending ER doctor examines Anna, asks the standard intake questions, and discovers that the family is currently living out of a vehicle. Under strict state child welfare guidelines, the physician is legally mandated to intervene and report the family to Child Protective Services. The state swiftly deems a freezing minivan an unsafe environment for a child. CPS officers arrive and physically separate Anna and her brother from their parents. The state's intervention results in the dissolution of the family unit, turning an economic crisis into a permanent separation. Comparing how society budgets for poverty against how it budgets for state intervention highlights a specific set of priorities. Upstream, the state refuses to allocate a few $100s in emergency rent or utility assistance to keep Anna's family safely in their original apartment. This chart compares those resource allocations. On the left is the minimal one-time cost of emergency rent assistance. On the right are the massive, recurring costs the state willingly pays every month to a foster parent to house those exact same children. Add the financial burden of repeated hospitalizations, forced psychiatric interventions, and strained public services resulting from the trauma of family separation, and the cost of the state's downstream reaction dwarfs the cost of upstream prevention. Meanwhile, Anna's parents are charged with child endangerment. They are criminalized by the state simply for lacking capital. The magistrate judge who originally executed the eviction, triggering the entire cascade of trauma, faces zero scrutiny and reaps no consequence. The current welfare apparatus operates exactly as it is funded to operate. It is meticulously designed to punish poverty rather than prevent it. Addressing the immediate housing crisis requires a 90-day intervention focused on halting evictions and securing shelter. The process begins at the top. The Secretary of Housing and Urban Development must immediately declare a federal housing state of emergency. Next, the President and Vice President issue a nationwide pause on all evictions, stopping the bleeding and keeping currently housed families indoors. For those already unhoused, we activate FEMA. Families register by phone to receive immediate electronic hotel vouchers based on their zip code, securing temporary, safe shelter. Finally, every public housing agency nationwide is ordered to repair and open their vacant foreign apartments within 30 days. The buildings, the infrastructure, and the emergency frameworks already exist. Deploying them requires only the political courage to treat a housing deficit like a natural disaster. The policies and federal directives ultimately serve a very simple human purpose. Every person is a unique asset, capable of significant contributions to their community. When society allows a child's health to deteriorate in a freezing car, we forfeit our own future medical professionals, scientists, military personnel, and neighbors. Ensuring that a toddler has a safe place to sleep is a collective societal responsibility, not an isolated burden placed on struggling parents. A just society requires child advocates protesting outside of every courthouse where vulnerable people are being displaced. It requires a refusal to accept apathy as the norm. No child in the United States of America should ever have to utter the heartbreaking words, "I am being evicted."